thing. Rita, welcome to the program. It's been
Thanks!
about time we got you here.
I know.
How did you get into theater?
Oh my gosh. Well, in college, and I took a costume class as a fine arts requirement, and loved it because I love sewing.
Yep.
And enjoyed the history, and I love history, and it just started from there.
So did you do it in high school or?
Oh, a little bit in high school,
right?
But just real backstage stuff. Somebody's dressing.
You didn't act in high school?
No.
You wouldn't want to do that?
I might. I've thought about auditioning.
Well, we say don't say. There's nothing. Yeah,
I know.
Fine. I mean, you know it has to be done. Right?
I know.
Yeah. So wait. So that's how you got into theater. But you got it. You had a specialization though, right?
Costume design and stage management.
Okay, it's costume design and stage management.
Yeah.
See, I only heard the stage management part, which is kind of unusual in itself. But the costume design, is pretty cool.
Design.
And stage management. Why the stage management part?
Well, because I found out I really enjoyed it, and I really liked it. And
not many people do.
Maybe I'm really sick.
No, I enjoy it too because when it goes, I think of stage management. When it goes, it's like a beautiful dance,
right?
And you're you're kind of coordinating all this.
Right.
When it goes bad, oh my goodness.
But still, even when it goes bad, if you know how it's supposed to be, if you know how the whole picture is supposed to be, then it's easy to jump in and go, okay, get this done, get that done, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? And if you're the stage manager, you have the right to do that.
Oh, yes.
If you're an actor, just go sit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's part of what I like.
You're not a control freak, are you?
I don't think I am. I think what I am is I like everything done right.
Yes.
But I don't think that's really being a control freak.
Right.
I like to delegate.
Oh, good. Excellent.
I love to delegate.
You don't have to do it yourself.
No, I don't.
Right.
I do not have to do it myself.
No urge whatsoever. Nah.
No. Well, yes and no. but we've known control freaks, and yes. And I don't think I am.
No. Okay.
So anyway,
what was the first show you ever did in the Houston area?
My youngest daughter was in a show, an actress in a show. I think she was in 6th or 7th grade. Yeah. And I was helping Bonnie Hewitt, and I came in to help out. With the sets one day.
Just happened to be there.
Exactly.
Was this at Ace or someplace
else? At Ace, yeah.
So it was at Ace.
At Ace. Okay. Right.
So about mid-2000 or even before then?
Oh, about
2003?
Oh, no, I guess it was.
Yeah, okay.
This is 2013.
That doesn't say anything about us, right? No.
It was probably near No, it had to have been like 2002.
Okay, 2000.
Yeah, because we moved down here in 2000.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway.
So where'd you come from? You said to move down here.
Oh well, we were. I'm an Air Force brat.
Okay, so you've been all around.
I've been all around, and then we were living in Houston, and my husband took a job up in Pittsburgh, and we were there for 13 years.
Okay. And
then we moved back here in 2000. Yeah. So.
Well, if you were in Pittsburgh for 13 years, you did theater up there, right?
No.
You had a degree in.
I didn't know.
What happened?
I tried getting involved in theater when I was younger, and it just didn't work out.
Really?
I
mean, just family things or whatever?
It was personality clashes and things like that. And
you mean between the people within the different organizations?
Within the theater.
So you did try.
I did try.
Well, that's an interesting, because when Carol and I go to different places, we try to see community theater in all different places. And of course, we don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes, but you could imagine what could go on. So it just didn't work out for whatever the different groups were.
Yeah.
That's a shame because that happens. Seems like almost everywhere.
It is a shame.
It happens.
So, anyway.
So it didn't work out in Pittsburgh, but you came to Houston.
It didn't work out, but I got involved at Ace. And
why Ace? I mean, what?
Well, just because my daughter was there,
right?
And working with Bonnie on this set, I looked at the set and I said, "It's missing. Something's missing."
Right.
And then and she's like, "Yeah, I know." And I said, "I know what it is. The draperies need about 1/4 inch of gold on the," and she goes, "Oh my God, I love you." And then she said, then she knew she always wanted to do shows with me.
Wow.
So then she asked me to be a stage manager and, and that's what happened.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because when we talk about, like I said, doing the show, you already mentioned it, the experience in Pittsburgh, and then coming down here. People do have to be compatible. I mean, it's all volunteer effort.
Right.
And if they're not, it just it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. You know?
It's amazing. Yeah. And
the older you get, the easier it is to go, no, I don't really like that group of people. I'm not doing that show.
Yes, it is. No, it's true.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to spend all this time, and it's like, forget it.
I know. Oh, God.
Well, Bonnie's such a wonderful director, too. She puts some wonderful stuff down today. So what was that show that you
That was The Haunting of Hill House, I think.
The Haunting of Hill House. Okay, so we didn't see that one.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And I think that's before y'all moved here, maybe.
But you really got active in ACE afterwards.
I did. I really did.
Yeah. So what was it about ACE that you just wanted to get? Was it the people? Was it you saw that they needed help? What was it?
Well, I think because it was easy to jump in and fit there.
Yes.
And maybe that might have been because of Bonnie.
Sure.
You know, because she was so involved and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Developed a nice friendship with Wayne Landon.
Sure.
You know, a couple other people.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter was still doing shows there.
Ure. So why not? Might as well be there, right?
Right. You know.
It's hard enough, doing things as a family. So let's do it together.
Exactly.
Well, I want to talk a lot about ACE because ACE, like a lot of theaters, probably goes through the same struggles that a lot of theater groups have had to go through.
Right.
Organizationally, financially, just personnel, the whole bit.
Right.
And so, looking back on your experience, because it was 7 years, 8 years. How long did they make it for?
I don't know how long they were around.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good amount of time.
It was a good amount of time.
A good amount of time.
Yeah.
But for the lessons learned from there, I mean, could you see what was going to happen eventually? Or is it I mean, it's kind of easy to say in hindsight, but when you're in the thick of it, I mean, you were obviously very active there.
Well, I think what happens with volunteer groups is it has to be run like a business. I think. And you have to have some hierarchy. You have to it just needs to be run like a business. I think there has to be accountability. There has to be structure. There needs to be policies, etc. And
even that doesn't guarantee everything.
No, it doesn't. But I think at least it helps to give some backbone to the group. And if you don't have that, then what you're doing is you're just putting on a show, cleaning up the mess, sort of,
right,
when the show finishes,
right,
and going on to the next. And then the next group complains because that show didn't get cleaned up well, blah, 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 blah. But nobody ever really wants to stop and say, wait, what do we do to resolve this issue?
Right.
And I was trying to do that, and I don't think that was very welcomed.
Well, the thing is, and I like that because you found out about my involvement, kind of a sideways thing. Wayne asked me to do I won't call it an audit. It was just advice. It was a review and an advisory group.
Right.
And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, what the heck? And I think I calculated like 50,000 volunteer hours per year, which I thought was just amazing, freaking amazing.
Right.
The amount of volunteer hours. And then I saw what it yielded, just from a financial point of view, and I went, it's just
sad.
Not, it was sad that so much effort to some pretty good work actually was done, so different shows, and yet it yielded nothing. It just like there was no way I could make this work. Now the part that I don't know why it didn't get factored in, but they were doing of course the melodramas at the time, which were fabulously profitable.
Right, and I'm the one that suggested if they're profitable, then do 2 a year.
Don't really? So they were only doing 1 at a time? So they started doing 2.
Yes.
So that doubled that amount of money that helped, keep ACE going. Of course, you had the kids groups as well. How was that helping out with
Well, that was kind of a...
Because you have to have that as a nonprofit. You
do.
You have 5 different things you can do, and there's only one that pretty much fits theater groups as the educational component.
However, what they did was... I think if you're going to have children's theater groups, since children are learning how to act, I think that there should be classes.
Sure.
Like there are here.
Right.
I think you should pay for your classes.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's not what was happening at ACE. What was happening is they would pay a $25 production fee.
Right.
And that was it.
Right.
And then all of these adults were trying to get them to act as we went through rehearsals.
Oh?
And they did not want to charge. They did not want to have like a school.
Right.
And so I think they were
interesting.
They were biting their noses off in spite of their faces.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why Houston Family Arts Center has done well.
Oh, they've done fabulously
because they've tapped into that. This is an activity, and my rationale was, if your kid plays soccer, you're paying more money than for the soccer than you are to come and participate in the show. But then they didn't want. Their argument was, well, we're not going to raise the children's production fee, and not raise the adult production fee.
Oh, that's right, because at that time they had a production fee for both,
exactly,
right? In order for you to participate.
And they were losing good actors coming out
because of the production,
because they didn't want to pay the production fee.
Yeah,
and I didn't blame them.
Well, yeah, I understand, and for the financial side, they were just trying to make the books balance, really. But you're right; it did scare a lot of people away.
It did.
Certain folks away, and I know there were some directors that even paid for the fee because they did, so the actors would have to pay it.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
they did. And then there were some situations where some actors would pay, some wouldn't,
which is not fair either.
No, that's not fair either. So it was kind of a mess.
Yeah, and that's a shame because I think there was some good work done. I mean, I'm remembering Outward Bound. I think Bonnie directed, which is excellent. So wonderful script. I'm trying to think of some of the other shows. Yeah, what are some of the other shows that you're really proud of that you did at ACE?
Oh, Dial M for Murder. Believe it or not, I enjoyed presenting The Sins of Sorwana.
Really? Yes.
Because it was unique and different.
You know what? I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed it more than I expected to.
Yes. And
it was also done in the adjacent space.
Yes.
So you could have your little drinks or whatever, kind of cabaret stuff. I enjoyed that.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I enjoyed working on the shows that James Reed and Glenn Lambert did. It was Pillow Talk and something else. Didn't particularly like the first one so much. But the second one, Pillow Talk, was so funny. So funny. And when I read the script, I was doing the tech. And when I read the script and it goes light on, light off, light on, light off, I said, am I doing all this? They said, no, we'll have a light on stage. I said, oh, good. I could just see me go, do, trying to get these cues right,
So that's how you met. How did you meet Glenn? Actually,
I met Glenn at ACE, and he and I became pretty good friends. We really did. I liked spending time with him. Very non-judgmental. Very what you see is what you get.
Yes. Great on the bear hugs.
Yeah.
Was it the 64-ounce root beer or whatever he would carry?
Oh, good Lord, whatever. He used to take those cups, and then he'd take those Crystal Lights and dump them in there, fill them with water and with the straw, and then blow in the straw to mix it up. Oh, gosh.
All right. But you started doing other places as well, right? I mean, you've done productions at other places.
I've worked at Playhouse 1960.
Yes.
Did God's Favorite there. Did, oh my gosh, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes. That's because Bonnie was doing it?
Bonnie did To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes.
Karen Dougherty was directing God's Favorite.
Yes.
Very, very funny show.
Karen and Albert?
Yeah.
As I recall, I guess Albert is the same industry I am. He's in the oil industry too. He does printing or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, he prints up forms that they use. I think for the oil well reports.
Yeah, and it's fabulously profitable.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's interesting because we talk about these stories, which are like the real life, which we'll talk about with you afterwards. So everyone's got their real life, and then there are things that they do for their.
And that's one of the things that always fascinates me when I look at a stage sometimes, and I look at the actors.
Yes.
And I think of their occupations.
Yeah.
Here's somebody that's like a neurology therapist.
Right.
Here's somebody that's a speech pathologist. Here's somebody that's got a doctorate in geology or something. Yeah. And they never would have made it on Broadway.
Oh, no.
But they're good.
I'm not sure they want to. I'm not sure we want to either.
And I don't think they did.
No.
But they're really, really good at what they're doing right there.
Right.
They're not all not all. There's very few, I think, that went to some acting school somewhere in New York.
Right.
There's a few.
Actually, there's a few.
There's
yes.
a few,
yeah.
you know.
San Martinez is like that, and Patrice Cantimeno's is like that.
Right.
We could go on. But yeah, there are a few.
Right.
And there's some that are there now. Trying to make it on Broadway.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I want that life. I mean, it's a nice dream, but I don't think I really want that.
I don't know. No, I don't think so either. But it fascinates me sometimes, the occupations people have.
Well, I'm also amazed, too, at how many professional actors are in this area that gave up acting because they just didn't like the life. Not the acting and the performance part, but the family portion of it.
True.
They just said, what am I doing? You've heard that the lines, I can't remember whether it's Goodbye Girl or not, where the only time an actor has a good marriage is when their career's in the dumps.
Oh.
Pretty much.
Because then they're at home.
That's right, because then they're at home.
Right.
And it's pretty much true.
Right, exactly.
Well, what do you do in real life?
Oh, I'm a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how did you get into being a realtor?
Well, back in the late 70s, when I was 2. Mm. No. No, back in the late 70s, I was working as an inventory controller in Houston. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I liked my work, but kind of wanted something more.
Sure.
And I was streamlining some things and condensing forms and, really trying. I wasn't trying. I was making it more efficient.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And this is all on a Cardex. This is pre-computer.
Oh, gee.
You know what the Cardex is?
It's not Rolodex. What is the Cardex?
Oh, no. The Cardex was this big file thing you sat in front of. And it was for a safety equipment company.
Right.
So each item they sold had a card.
Right.
Every time something came in, you wrote it down. It was all by hand. Inventory in, you write it down.
That card had that company's entire history, basically.
There was a card for every item in the warehouse.
Every item?
Every item in the warehouse.
Right. Going in, out, whatever.
Yes. Yes. That's what I took care of.
And you were inventory.
Okay. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, yes.
So, and I loved it because, everything had to be done right.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
I was very good at what I did. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I go in for a review. Yeah. I've been there 6 months. Yeah. And they tell you, now, granted, remember, this is the 70s, 76.
Yeah.
And my boss says to me, well, we're going to give you $5 more a week.
Uh-huh.
And I laughed. And he wasn't laughing. And I said, you're really serious, aren't you? And he goes, yeah. And I said, okay. So I took my savings, started taking real estate classes, because real estate was booming.
Yeah.
And then after I got my license and I got set up with a broker and,
So you've been doing it since the 70s?
Yes.
Because you've seen a lot of changes in the real estate industry, right?
Since the 70s.
Because it used to be very easy to get in. And then they kept making it harder and harder and harder, right?
The
requirements.
And they should.
Yeah.
They really
I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying, but it got harder and harder.
Right.
There were more requirements, more training, more,
Right. Well, it's like when I do contracts and people are looking at 10, 12 pages of this contract.
Right.
Plus all the addendums.
Right.
Okay. Plan to spend an hour with me to do this. All right. And they go, oh my gosh. They go, when I started, contracts were 2 pages long.
Very simple, right?
I said, this 10, 12 pages, this is all CYA.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And lawsuits.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is.
Yes. It's just incredible.
It's sad. It's sad. Yeah. But it isn't. Yeah. So anyway, yes, I have seen a lot of changes. Yeah. I started when we were using the books.
Books?
The books. They came out every week.
Uh-huh.
And there was 6 pictures on a page with a description of the house.
Right.
And it was done by area.
Right.
And it was done by price.
Right.
In ascending order.
Right.
But if you had a client and they were looking for this area,
right,
you sat down with a book,
right,
and you went through the
book. People forget about the pre-search, days. Like when I first would go to the library and they had the index cards at the library.
Oh, I love that.
I hated those things.
Oh no, I love those.
Hated because you call, is the book in or not? And then you go to where it's supposed to be, and if it hasn't been filed properly, it might be in, but it's not there. Then if it's maybe it's been checked out,
right.
Oh, just crazy. So I loved when they made search a lot easier.
Well, so I started with the books.
Yes.
Then we moved to thermal paper.
Okay.
Now the funny thing about thermal paper was you'd get your searches printed out. Oh, this was really high tech, right?
Right.
Okay. Took forever for the dang thing to print. But if you didn't take that thermal paper in with you when you went to go look at the property,
yes,
you'd come out and the sun had burned.
Bleached it.
Yes!
Yes, it had bleached it. Yes,
so
it has.
Then you had no idea what the properties were you were supposed to show your client.
That's why I hated those thermal paper, because they get bleached so easily. You got to be really careful. And even if you take care of it, it can still get, disintegrate. And I'm like, oh, gosh, I hated those. But it was faster, right?
It was faster. It was faster.
Oh, my goodness. So you have seen a lot of changes.
Yes. And now we're up to digital ink, where you send a form.
Yes.
And they can digitally sign it online. Yes. Mm-hmm. You can send it through all the people that need to sign it.
Right.
And then it comes back around.
So you don't have to walk it. Which is very nice.
Right. Now, if it's an offer on a home, yes, you do that.
Right.
But when you're doing the changes and, one or two addendums or whatever changes, or we're extending the closing date or whatever, it's really nice to have this digital ink.
Oh, it is. So what's your take on these last 5 to 10 years in real estate?
Oh,
what did we do wrong as a country?
Well, it wasn't the realtors per se.
No,
it was the mortgage lenders. Mm-hmm. And what people don't realize is that it's Congress that decides what the laws are when it pertains to lending. Mm-hmm. But then Congress decided to point the finger at the lenders.
Oh, yes.
For lending money to people that they said lend money to them.
That's right. They wanted to encourage them to lend money to let the economy boom and grow.
Exactly.
And then when it went south, and like I said, in our neighborhood, we have so many mortgage brokers. And I'm kind of like, what the hell is a mortgage broker? What do they do? It looks like they just bought and sold loans. And they make an incredible amount of money doing it.
Well, there's different levels of the industry. Yeah. So then maybe they're up here and they're buying and selling.
They were up there.
But a mortgage, yeah. But the sad part is we were lending money to people that had no business buying a home.
Yes.
And I don't mean that in a negative sense. I think everyone should try to own a home if they can. But, if you have somebody that's getting a home, 125,000 home, which would be a nice home in Houston.
Sure.
Yeah. And they're not putting any money down.
Right.
They're barely making any closing costs.
Right.
And maybe they're bringing $500 to the closing table to buy a house.
Right.
These people they're not married to this house. They're not invested in this house. They're not serious about the house. Mm-hmm. $500 is a deposit on an apartment.
Yeah, easily, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then another practice that some of the new home builders had, which was, I think they should have gone after them. The mortgage lenders for these new home builders were basing the monthly payment to qualify these people on the taxes of the unimproved property. So now you have a lot that's valued at, say, $30,000.
Sure.
And so they qualify them.
Right.
And get their loan approved.
Right.
And then the next year, their taxes go up $300 a month. Mm-hmm. And now they can't afford it.
And they knew this up front, of course.
The buyers didn't.
The buyers didn't. They didn't let them know. That's sad.
It is sad. So that's why in a lot of these newer neighborhoods, you saw homes that after a year and a half.
Whole neighborhoods, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's a shame because unfortunately I liken that a lot to the Texas's 10% rule. Where 10% of a particular high school can get to go to, a state university. And there are a lot of folks that aren't ready.
Right.
We should be spending the money to help prepare them to go if we really want to diversify those that go to college so they have a better life.
Right.
Potentially.
Right. I know.
It's a shame. What shows would you like to do that you haven't done before?
Oh, gosh. I don't read too many new shows. You know what I mean? Like new scripts. Right. I'd like to do a mystery comedy.
Mm-hmm. Any particular ones?
There's one Leona was in, and so was Carolyn, and I can't think of it at Ace. Where Leona ended up being the murderer or something.
Oh, Exit the Body?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I think that would be fun here.
Yeah.
To do here.
And it's unfortunate because Nancy McVille was in that, and she just recently passed away, which it was a shame. We've lost a lot of theater friends. Well, every year there's always somebody.
There's always
unfortunately,
somebody.
Just in recent times. Yeah. It's a shame. Yes, that's right. It's been some years. Yeah, now so they had a fun time with that. Yes.
So, I enjoyed The Miracle Worker. I enjoyed the drama of The Miracle Worker.
That was very well done. Very well done.
Thank you so much.
Like I said, you got standing ovations every time, which is just incredible.
Thank you so much.
No, it's incredible. I mean, you get a standing ovation every time.
Yeah.
That wasn't forced. We didn't make them stand.
I know that.
They didn't make them stand. They did. It doesn't happen all the time.
I cried at the end of the last show.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm not a crier.
Yeah, it's at the end of a production, it's always bittersweet.
Right, it is.
It's time to move on. You can't do it forever. But,
I know, you can't. I know. So we had two fantastic young ladies.
Absolutely.
For that,
yes, you did.
For that cast, and
their families really helped out too. That was incredible.
Gosh,
the moms were just incredible in terms of
yes.
for that cast. It really helped out. I don't know how you've done it because there was so much that had to be done backstage in terms of food and and all the props that had to go around.
There were 3 moms backstage.
Yeah, and they were busy. They weren't sitting around twiddling thumbs.
I know. The thing that I really appreciated, the cast was, I think, very cohesive.
Yes.
Very kind to each other. Yes. And the thing that I liked was the 2 girls that played Helen. I don't know if you realize it, but during rehearsals, etc., like we do one scene with one Helen, then we and they were so good. They never once did either of those girls come and go, "It's my turn to do that."
No.
They never did that. Yes. What they would do is the other one would come and say, "Miss Reena, it's not my turn. It's her turn."
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And I would just say to them, thank you so much for keeping track of this.
Right.
It really helps me a lot. It's one less thing I need to be worried about.
Right.
And you're so kind. And they were so kind.
Well, you never know because they could have easily been different. But we have found that normally that the leads tend to become really good friends.
Yeah. Well, they were friends to begin with.
I didn't know that. Yeah, they were friends to begin with. But that helps too.
They were, yeah.
So they both got to do it.
Yeah.
So fun.
So.
And our dog got to be on it.
I know.
It was like, Harley, don't upstage the girls.
I know. Were you at rehearsal that night when they'd been feeding him backstage?
I think so. I didn't know what was going on, but there was something.
But so Harley comes out.
Right.
And he doesn't want to stay there. He keeps wanting to go backstage.
Of course, yes.
Okay?
Right.
And Carolyn's up in the sound booth and she goes on the speakers, "Don't feed the dog backstage."
She knows what's going on.
Yes. It was like the voice of God.
Don't feed the dog. Well, even the food that was on stage, where he wanted to clean up the stage.
At the curtain call.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He didn't care about the bowels. He's like, "Here, I want to go clean up. Let me go clean up."
Eggs, bacon. Oh, yeah. You didn't even have to feed him.
I know. Yeah. Well, I saw you when you were at Playhouse.
Yeah.
Country Playhouse. When you did, what was it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
The read-through, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had never done anything like that.
Really?
Never.
I think it's great. I think you had a pretty decent cast. You got a flavor for what was going on. Yeah, it would be nice to be able to do more of that kind of stuff. The readings and stuff at different places.
Well, and what I thought was interesting, what they did was that afterwards, the audience was allowed to critique.
Sure, yes.
And or ask more questions or whatever.
I like the talkbacks too. I think the talkbacks, for certain groups, I think it's a valuable thing.
Right.
It's a valuable educational opportunity.
Well, and plus doing the reading.
Yes.
It didn't take up a bunch of rehearsal time. No. We came in, I think, on Friday night maybe.
Yeah.
Read through. Saturday, I think we did it twice.
Yeah.
And Sunday, I think maybe we did it once. And then that's it.
Yeah.
So if you're between shows, it's a real easy thing to plug in.
Yes.
And have some fun with. So
you want to do more of that, right?
Yeah. I've actually thought about auditioning for the Red Velvet Cake War.
You need to. You should.
I know.
You should.
It's learning all those lines.
I can't. I know. I know.
Oh my God.
The line is like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What do you do on your time off?
For fun. It's been kind of chaotic for the last year, but for fun, I enjoy antiques. I haven't been to an auction in years. I'd love to go to an auction. I enjoy museums. I'm the one that reads all the little plaques. And I like to see my daughters.
Yes.
I'm thinking about subscribing to Texas Highways and making a point of going out and doing things.
Really?
Yeah, make a bucket list.
So have you not? Do you travel a lot? I mean, you obviously travel for your business, of course, but
well, yes and no. I mean, when I would go with Scott sometimes to travel, and that was fun.
It can be fun.
In May, I want to go to Key West because I want to go snorkeling. So I'm trying to be picky about who might come with me.
Right.
Well,
and there's a reason. Yeah, I said because if you're not compatible, it's not going to be fun.
5 days or something, 3 to 5 days. You're like, second day, oh my god, why'd I bring now?
Travel. So you definitely want to do some more travel.
Do more travel. I think make a bucket list.
Yes.
Never been to the Grand Canyon.
Well.
I'd like to see that.
I haven't done it either. We're going to make it one of these days. I understand the West is beautiful in the winter.
Well, my parents have driven from here out to Arizona.
Yes.
Out to Phoenix. Yeah. And they say, once you get past San Antonio and further out, it's so different. The saguaro cactus. And I haven't seen any of that. I'd like to see some of that.
Right.
Something different.
You have any favorite TV shows, favorite films, at least in the past couple of years?
I don't really watch. I do watch a lot of TV, but I don't sit and watch TV. Okay. I'm usually doing something.
It's more for noise.
It's for noise.
Okay.
So I have shows on that I don't necessarily have to pay attention to.
Right.
I enjoy eating, so I like watching Food Network. Oh. I like Restaurant Impossible.
I love Restaurant Impossible.
So, and I clipped out, there was like 100 good restaurants in the Chronicle a while back. So I went through and clipped out the ones I want to go to in my price range.
Right.
So I have a girl.
See, that's a bucket list you need to go through.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And do you know there's a website where you can go and you can plug in your zip code.
Yes.
And then it'll show you within 100, 300, 500 miles where the diners, drive-ins, and dives places are.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I have the app for that. You can
there's an app.
There's an app. My God. You said driver. Yeah, where's it go? And then you can go. Okay, we'll give it a shot.
Now I think it'd be fun to plan a whole trip.
Yes.
You're like up to the East Coast to see my cousins in Jersey. And make sure that you hit these spots.
Oh no,
it wasn't Cancun, Grand Cayman.
Yeah.
I went to this little museum. I'm the only one in the little museum. Everybody else is in bars, okay? I'm in the little museum, which was fascinating. But anyway, Grand Cayman used to be part of Jamaica. They used to be part of the same government. Anyway, there's my little factoid.
Yes.
But I said to the lady there, an island lady, I said, where do you eat lunch?
Yes.
She goes, go around the corner, blah, blah, blah. So that's where I went. And the guy's trying to describe to me what he's serving. Right. Okay. Yeah. And he goes, just come in the kitchen. Let me show you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it was delicious. Delicious. So while those fools were drinking and having burgers and beer that they could have gotten anywhere.
Right.
I got some real island food.
That's awesome.
So that's the kind of thing I enjoy.
I do enjoy.
Foreign people typically pay more attention.
It's more important to
U.S. politics. It is more important to them.
I think we just take it for granted.
I don't know if we take it. We do to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I think we also have this attitude of it has become such a huge thing.
Yeah.
How can you change any of it?
Oh, so we get kind of cynical and then we don't bother.
Right.
That's a shame.
Right. But I got involved in politics back when we were in Pittsburgh and the teachers went on strike.
Yes.
So I was on the parents' picket line.
The parents' picket line.
Mm-hmm. And then I arranged a meeting with our state representative.
Right.
And I ordered pizza.
Yes.
Like a dodo bird, I ordered a spinach pizza.
Yes.
So the first bite I take into the spinach pizza,
yes,
I know I've gotten spinach in my front teeth.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So I'm trying to discuss sabbaticals with him and sick leave and all these important things.
Right.
While I'm holding a napkin up, trying to get the stupid spinach out from my teeth.
Try to be discreet about it.
But it was interesting. That segued into me being the campaign manager for a young man from our church that was running for state representative.
Wow.
So there's stage management.
Yeah, that's right. Did you enjoy politics?
Yes.
Really?
Until I found out some of the dirty side.
Oh.
And then I went, no more.
That's a shame.
No more.
That's a shame. We definitely have to have you come back, but I'm going to ask you the question we ask everyone.
Yes, sir.
If heaven exists, what do you want God to say when you get to the pearly gates?
Welcome.
Welcome. He'll give you a big hug?
Yeah.
You want to direct anything while you're up here?
No.
No.
No. I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe so. I probably wouldn't do it perfectly enough. That's an interesting question. Well, I think when you finally go, it's because it's your time.
Hopefully so, yes.
You know. Yeah. And I think that's what God would say. You're here. Welcome home.
What are you doing here?
Yeah. Oh, my God, it's you. I thought we were sending you down there.
Oh, dear.
No, baptismal certificate right here.
Oh, it says right. Oh, great. Thanks, Reena, for that. We'll do this again sometime.
Thank you.